We're out here in the garden. This is our potato patch. As you can see back here where the mulch is, we've already done white potatoes. This is our patch of red potatoes. We have more red potatoes than white, that's why the patch is bigger. We are doing something this year, back to Eden, lasagna gardening, whatever you want to call it. We have layered on the grass. This was the old goat pen, and we let this be empty for a couple of months, and then we've put the cardboard down, which will disintegrate into the soil underneath, and then we've layered on top some mushroom soil, and then we're putting the potatoes, and then on top of that we are going to mulch, and that will be our potato patch for this garden season. Over here in the garden we have used a cattle panel to put our pepper plants up against, and Sarah's currently working on that right now. And then up there, as I showed you last time, that's our peas, and then up above the peas is where we planted our brassicas. So things are really coming along in the... So I started putting the mulch on top. We had put the potatoes out, and that's our white potatoes over there. Like I said, this is the red potatoes. And Darren went to the other shed and said, oh, we're not done. We had only planted half of the white potatoes, so here's the other half. So we're going to continue now to bring this patch down. All of the red potatoes are done, but now we're going to put some more cardboard and then mushroom soil, put these potatoes down, and then cover it with mulch to match. I stopped putting mulch over here when we found out there were more potatoes because we weren't sure if they were the red ones or the white ones, but these are white ones, so I can go ahead and put the rest of the mulch over here on the red patch while we build up this white patch and continue planting. So I've come in from working in the garden. We started really early this morning at 6, and it got super hot. So while I'll take you back out to show you what we got done, but in the meantime I have a lot of sourdough starter. I'll show you that in a minute. I wanted to try this recipe that I found. It's a quick or lazy sourdough. This recipe makes 2 loaves. It's the first time I'm trying it, and I thought, well, let's try it together. So what I need is a cup and a half. Well, I'll post the recipe down below. So that's warm milk, and look at this beautiful, ignore my jar, it's messy, but look at this. Do you see all those air bubbles in there? This is such a happy starter. Can you see those air bubbles? So we need the warm milk, and to the warm milk I need to sprinkle across there 2.5 teaspoons of instant yeast. And is that the teaspoon? Yeah. I love these measuring spoons, by the way. They clip together. I will link them down below. They are so nice. I don't lose them. So that's 1/2 teaspoon. It's just the one I grabbed. So that's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Okay. Sprinkle the yeast across the top, and then I guess we're just going to let that sit for a minute. I know you can, a lot of recipes call for like letting the yeast bloom. I'm kind of in a hurry, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that go. And then to this, we are going to add, let's see, we need a cup of starter. So watch this. Can you see this? Look at how beautiful that is. So I'm gonna put my cup. Oh, I just got it all over my mixer. Oh well. I clean my mixer every time I use it. After I use it, I should say. So we're gonna put this starter right in here. And you wanna do this. This is, the recipe is for discard. And I think I said before that I don't really discard the way a lot of people do with sourdough. I like to use everything, so I don't, let me wipe my hands off, hold on a second. I save everything, and I will do something like this, or I will make pancakes or something like that. So there's our sourdough discard. I need some canola oil. I don't use canola oil. It's really bad for you. But I do have avocado oil. I feel comfortable also using coconut oil in this. I would think would be okay. So there's the avocado oil. And then we need a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to use my ½ teaspoon here. Okay. And then we need, oh, I did measure this out. Sugar, not a lot, just enough to feed that that yeast. And even though that's the thing about it being lazy sourdough, traditional sourdough, you would have to have it do a long ferment. But this is lazy sourdough. That's why we're using yeast, because it will rise quickly, quicker than a long ferment, I mean. So that was sugar, and then we need baking soda. So I'm just gonna put this over the top and get this mixed up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna mix this first, and then I will add in the flour next. So let me stop and get this mixed up, and then I'll show you when I add in the flour. So while this is mixing up, I'm gonna go ahead and add the flour. Okay, so all of the flour is now in the mixer, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up until it's completely combined. So I finished mixing the dough, and if you can see this, see how elastic this is? That's what you want. And if you don't have a stand mixer, you can do this by hand, but right now it is to be taken out of the mixing bowl. I should have gotten a scraper, but this is a really nice dough. See this? This is a really nice dough. I'm going to place this in I just put some more canola oil in, I'm sorry, not canola oil, avocado oil in the bowl, and I'm going to roll that around so that there's oil now on top of the dough. And I'm going to cover this and let it rest for 30 minutes. So I thought while we're waiting for the bread to rise, the dough, I would come over here and show you what we've gotten done in the garden so far. Obviously it's not finished. It's not going to be finished for a few days yet. We're expecting rain today, but I want to show you the progress we've made. Here we are in the garden. Sarah's coming along because she's spearheading this project. I'm just the little worker bee. So Sarah, what do we have going on here?
Right here?
Yep.
This is the start of the carrot bed.
Can you hear her? This is the start of the carrot bed.
We're gonna put carrots here.
Okay. And then we're gonna go down here. We have some more peppers to plant, and is that cucumbers or melons in the basket?
They're melons.
Melons, okay. All right, so then along here, you know what, let me adjust the exposure, make it a little easier for you to see. We have all of our different kinds of tomatoes. They're gonna crawl up. This cattle panel will add stability for them. And I'm sorry, what?
They're on both sides.
Yeah, they're obviously, she planted on both sides. And then over here, which I showed you earlier, we have peppers along here. Same idea with the cattle panel. It's going to add stability, and again, she planted on both sides. And then over here was what we started earlier. This is a ginormous area. Remember I guess in the early spring, late last winter, I showed you this was the goat pen, and we let this go for a couple of months, and now we have made this into our potato patch. Considering putting corn over there, not sure what we're gonna do over there. There's our little pile of cardboard that we were selective with what we're putting in the ground. But as we said, it's cardboard, and then we put a combination mushroom soil, planting soil, and then we put the potatoes, and then on top of that, mulch. And right here we have, we've started direct sown into the ground, Brussels sprouts, kale, and lettuce. And then up here, I don't know if you can see that little overturned area right there, that little bit of soil, are snap peas, sugar snap peas. So yeah, and then as I showed you earlier, these are all of our peas. And then up above at the fence line up there is where we have the other brassica planted, broccoli and some different kind of kale and that kind of stuff. So we have, this area used to be the pig pen, and then we have this area over here, which like I said is now, it used to be the goat pen, and it is now potatoes and whatever else we can fit in here. We may need to expand out into the pasture a little bit, or maybe we'll go down here along the pasture fence and expand that way. So that remains to be decided, but we'll see what we need. We're very excited. We have some growth here of our spinach, our purple or red cabbage, and we have broccoli going here and a couple starting over there and here, and then Sarah just planted some more broccoli over there. So we have this sectioned off with a little log here. This was among the first things that we got into the ground this growing season. So the dough has risen, as you can see, and the next to last thing I have to do is to divide this in half and put it into 2 loaf pans. It's gonna go through another rise, but that one's only gonna be 20 minutes. The first one was 30 minutes, and this next one will only be 20. So I'm gonna divide this into 2. Remember I said at the beginning, this recipe was for 2 loaves. I'm just gonna try to shape it as best I can. These aren't gonna be like super pretty or anything. And just gonna put that in the pans. And I'm gonna cover those and let those rise. If you can, here, see, they're heavy. I'm gonna cover these and let them rise now for an additional 20 minutes. And here they are, they rose. I put them in the loaf pans and they rose for another 20 minutes. They look so nice. Now I'm going to put an egg wash on top and then put them in the oven for to bake 25 to 30 minutes, I think it is. So I'll show you when they come out. And here they are, the 2 loaves of bread out of the oven. They've rested a little bit, so they're cooler to the touch. The pans are still a little bit warm. I'm gonna get these out onto a cooling rack. I'm so excited. This is the closest so far that I've gotten to making decent sandwich bread. So very happy with this. This is the remnants of what I made this morning for them, the cinnamon rolls. And then this is what I just finished making for them for dinner, beef and chicken fajitas. Gonna let those, I've already turned the pan off, but these cast iron, gosh, they hold their heat. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that cool off a little bit. I'm gonna go out and start our evening chores now. So farm hair, like my shirt says, farm hair, don't care. In from doing the evening chores, and we are going to now eat these steak and chicken fajitas and get showers and just kick back and relax. We are tired, we're sweaty, we're dirty. So please remember to subscribe if you like this content, give us a thumbs up, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.